Selena Gomez reveals a major health update.
FaZe Banks spits on Jake Paul fans.
Ew. Kylie and Kendall get slammed again for cultural appropriation.
All that and more on today's rundown.
So you guys, I woke up this morning to Selena Gomez's Instagram post about her having a kidney transplant, and my mind is blown, but we're gonna give you all the details later.
That is absolutely shocking. But first and foremost, Dylan O'Brien's talking all about how his girlfriend helped him through his recovery after that horrible accident. Dylan O'Brien is very busy these days doing press for his brand new movie, American Assassin, which hits theaters next month. During one of his press interviews with People Mag, he revealed just how amazing his girlfriend Britt Robertson was in helping him through his recovery after his life-threatening accident that, as you all know, happened on the set of Maze Runner. Dylan said, quote, "My parents and my girlfriend were by my side the whole way. My girlfriend was with me every step of the way, even in my hospital bed. She's a saint. She also got up to Canada so quickly, I didn't know that was possible, and was there one of the first times I opened my eyes." Dylan went on to reveal that he actually considered that he might never act again, saying, "The first time I saw my face, I was like, that's it." Then even spending that 6 months out of it and in recovery and so far away from it, you're in a state of questioning everything. I absolutely went through a period of not knowing what my future was going to be.
Oh,
That's
so
horrible.
much heavy stuff to go through when you're so young.
Yeah.
And like questioning his career and his life and the way he looks and his relationships. Like, that's gotta be so hard for him.
Can you imagine just like opening your eyes and the first thing you see is your face and it doesn't look at all how you remember it looking? Like that in itself is probably like it shakes your whole world. You're like, I'm filming a movie, like that is my life, which is crazy, but that is his life. His life is his face, his body, his
Movement.
Yeah. Just being able to use all of your body parts. That's like part of this job, especially filming a movie like Maze Runner. But I really love when he's doing these interviews for this movie, American Assassin, because I think that this movie really helped him get through a lot of that, because he was in recovery and he still had to do a lot of his own stunts, and he's talked about how he was able to let go of a lot of stress because he had to face his insecurities and his fears of getting back into it head on, and I think he's gonna be better than ever, honestly.
I think so too. All right, guys, so Kendall and Kylie are getting a lot of backlash again today. I feel like I say that at least once a week about one of either the Kardashians or the Jenners, so this is your week's headline of them getting backlash on the internet, but this time it's for cultural appropriation. So the girls were called out for disrespecting Biggie Smalls, Tupac, and a bunch of other iconic musicians in the past, and then the sisters were dragged for ripping off Chola culture, and now Kendall and Kylie have garnered even more backlash for appropriating Chinese culture. So the girls recently debuted a leather clutch inspired by Chinese takeout boxes with the words KK Express Los Angeles CA stamped on the side. And to add kind of more insult to the injury, the sisters named the small white handbag the Lee Leather Clutch. And understandably, the whole thing rubbed some people the wrong way. One Twitter user wrote, "This further proves Kendall and Kylie Jenner legit have no original idea or culture and fashion to call their own, tone deaf." Another questioned, quote, "What is she trying to do? Piss off a whole other race? Kylie Jenner, please, just stop." And then one Twitter user tried to give the girls some advice by saying, "Kylie and Kendall, do the world and yourselves a favor and just stop with the inappropriate fashion wear. Hashtag thanks." And then one other person pointed out that Kate Spade also designed a similar bag to this one back in 2014. So not only are the girls being called out for inappropriate cultural appropriation, but they're also receiving backlash for being unoriginal as well. I always feel like there are two sides to every story. I don't think the girls intended to be insulting to a group of people. I don't know how I feel about it. It's hard for me to know because from the outside, I get it. Like, it is very culturally appropriating. But I want to hear from someone from that culture. Like, I want to hear what they think about it because, you know, I only know what I know from my life experience. So I want to know if it is as insulting to Chinese people.
Yeah, I have read that there has been some talk about it. I think then calling it the Lee Leather Clutch could have been avoided. You didn't have to call it that. I think that if they wouldn't have done that, then it probably would have gone over a little bit better. But if Kate Spade designed a similar bag, which I will say the bags do look very similar. I did look at them. in 2014, 3 years ago, and got backlash then, don't do it again. Just like, say, even whatever you might think that people are being too sensitive, or you might think that people who are upset have every right to be. But if you see it doesn't go over well and somebody is offended, as a fashion designer, you should always take that into consideration, because at the end of the day, like, you want fashion to be a positive thing, not to ignite some sort of like hatred or people feeling offended. I mean, it's just like, it's hard. It's hard to please everybody.
Yeah, it is. You gotta learn from other people's mistakes, so that is a good point.
Well, it wouldn't be a day at Clevver without something going down between Jake Paul and FaZe Banks. Just when we thought their feud was coming to an end, FaZe is showing us how he really feels about Jake and all of Team 10. The mega popular YouTubers have been in a huge feud ever since FaZe was accused of physically assaulting Jake's assistant, Meg Zelly, at a club. There have been tons of videos and interviews done about that incident, but we still don't really know exactly what happened. The incident hasn't been brought up in a few weeks by either party, so it kind of seemed like everything was dying down. Just yesterday, we told you all about how Alyssa Violet, Jake's ex, was moving in with FaZe, and the two vlogged the whole thing, seemed really happy. So we thought they were actually putting all the drama with Jake behind them and focusing on their future. But we were totally wrong and probably shouldn't have been so hopeful, because yesterday a video emerged of FaZe actually spitting on Jake Paul fans who showed up at his house.
We chew 'em like it's gum. We chew it with the gun. The tattoo just for fun. I use say bolt and run. Catch me at game one. I carry day, bro. It's every day, bro.
Those fans, known as the Jake Paulers, were blasting It's Everyday Bro. That is Jake's most popular diss track that calls out FaZe's friend, Rice Gum, and of course, Alyssa. Gross.
This is so uncalled for. I think people think that if you spit on something or someone, that it's not as bad as like hitting someone or throwing something at someone. It's assault. If you spit on someone, you are assaulting them. And I understand they were on private property. Maybe they were loitering. Maybe they were doing some noise disturbance. But honestly, you do have to call the police.
That's disgusting.
You can't take it upon yourself to lash out. If I were these people and I had gotten spit on, maybe it didn't hit them. Maybe it didn't hit the car. I don't know. But if he'd spit on me, I would definitely be pressing charges, because that is so
disgusting,
demeaning and gross and disgusting, and it's assault.
Yeah, I can't even stand when people just like spit on the street.
Ground.
Like, I can't even stand that. But like, just a notice to both of these people: one, don't go to people's houses that you don't belong at or you're not welcome at, and two, don't spit on anybody. Like, it's not that hard. And also, this whole feud thing has gone on way too long. It is so absurd that this is now the second time that people have shown up at either of their houses. Like, I have my own feelings towards Jake Paul, and I will be the first one to be very public about them. But if these were two regular people, they shouldn't be showing up at each other's houses. Their fans shouldn't be showing up at each other's houses either. So leave it for them to deal with. Don't get yourself involved, because you might get spit on, and that's gross.
Ew. Well, here's the news you probably are all waiting to hear about, because Selena Gomez announced today via her Instagram page that a few months ago she went through a kidney transplant. She needed to get a kidney because of her lupus disease that had been really taking its toll on her body, and none of us knew that this was happening. I don't think anyone knew this was happening.
Yeah, no.
So early this morning, she posted 3 photos in a gallery on Instagram, and she dropped a major health bomb that just left us all speechless. Apparently, over the summer, she had to undergo surgery as part of her lupus treatment, and she received a kidney transplant from a very special donor, her best friend, Francia. So she posted this photo of the two of them in a hospital bed saying, "I'm very aware some of my fans had noticed I was laying low for part of the summer and questioning why I wasn't promoting my new music, which I was extremely proud of. So I found out I needed to get a kidney transplant due to my lupus and was recovering. It was what I needed to do for my overall health." And she went on to say that she looks forward to sharing her journey with us over the past few months that she's been going through with us. She also ended with one major thank you writing, "And finally, there aren't words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend, Francia Reza. She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney to me. I am incredibly blessed. I love you so much, sis." TMZ is confirming that Selena had been on a kidney transplant list for a really long time, but when she was in Chicago back in May for the Weeknd's concert, she was rushed to the hospital because of kidney failure. And according to them, Abel was right there by her side. So this was pretty early on when they started dating. I'm sure it really bonded the two of them, because going through something like this it's very serious when you're in a new relationship.
The whole thing, like you said, is just it's so shocking because reading that she went through this summer, I mean, it's still technically summer. We have a few more days of summer left. So it kind of makes sense now why she was so quiet. And there were so many times that people were like questioning why Selena wasn't out there promoting her music. And they're like, does she just not care? And it's really sad because there is no way to just be like, you guys, I'm getting a kidney transplant. Can everyone get off my butt? Like, she had probably had to really rest and take her own time. So it makes me sad that I saw so much hate, like or just so much badgering or people wanting to know. And she was dealing with something so much bigger than I ever imagined. I had no idea. I would have never guessed that was what was going on. It's just crazy.
I think it just goes to show that celebrities, we put them on these pedestals and they all have this pressure to look good all the time, but they're really just normal people who go through real stuff just like the rest of us. And I honestly think TMZ also reported that her faith became stronger during this process and her belief in God. And I do think that, we go through stuff sometimes that we're like, why is this happening to me? But if you have a platform the way that Selena does, which, by the way, it seems like she's going to be sharing some of this with us.
I really hope so.
I hope it maybe helps other people who are going through lupus or similar diseases feel like they're not alone and that you can come out on the other side of it. So, wow, this is just shocking.
Also talk about best friend goals. That's amazing.
Right? Okay, switching gears for a moment to talk about Kendall and Kylie one more time. I want you guys to weigh in the comments. Kind of be nice to each other, because I see a lot of you getting really heated, and I get it, but just be nice, have a conversation. Let's talk about why this could be controversial, if it's not, if you think it's not. Just weigh in a kind way.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also share your thoughts on Selena and this shocking news that you just found out. Maybe leave some positive thoughts for her and her friend Francia, who I've always loved since Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Yeah, because I'm sure they're watching DHR.
Well, I do. I love her.
Well, if you're watching Selena, we love you. And if you're not Selena, we love you as well. Thanks for watching. We will be back here tomorrow. Zayn admits that he and Harry Styles were never friends in that box on the left.
Or on the right, PewDiePie drops the N-word again.
Ugh.